Hey girlies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer and this is a ready to wear affair where I discuss all things fashion, mostly designer and luxury because that is where my true passion is. But of course, as a fashion girly, I love all price ranges, all things fashion. So that's contemporary, fast fashion, affordable fashion, you name it. So that sounds like your vibe. Please subscribe and stick around because I have a really good video in store for you girlies. So this video is going to be focused on my new in shoes that I've acquired over the past few months, I would say, or just shoes that I haven't really covered in my prior shoe collection videos. I'm not going to do a full shoe collection video of all my shoes currently because it's mostly the same, give or take maybe 10 or 12 additions since last year when I did that first collection video of all my shoes. And it's very redundant and very repetitive. So I encourage you to watch those videos, or that video. I think I did a part 1 and part 2. If you want to see majority of what I own. And then I'm just gonna do additional add-on videos, such as this one, to show you updates to my shoe collection and new in shoes that I've acquired so far. So I did one earlier this year, I think at least 1 or 2, or I combined a few shoes into earlier hauls. I'll link them if I remember so you can easily find them. But this is gonna be shoes that I have not included in any haul this year so far. So you've probably seen them styled in other videos, but these shoes will not have had its own center dedicated video up until now. So let's get into it. So I, first and foremost, call myself and consider myself a shoe girly. I'm a clothing girly first. I love clothes. I'm a fashion lover. I feel like girls who really love fashion love clothes. I know that that's not popular, but guess what? Fashion is majority about clothes, what you physically wear on majority of your body. Your shoes, I think, accentuate the look. They help put the look together. They help bring the look into a different vibe or top it off, same way as accessories do. And I mean, I kind of sometimes see shoes as accessories personally, because the main building blocks of an outfit are what you're wearing on your torso and your bottom, and that's majority surface area, right? That's most of what we'll see. And shoes are they're at the bottom of the ground, they're at towards the floor. So that's not always where your eyes first gravitate to, and it's just for that very reason, it's not the focal point. Unless you intentionally make shoes the focal point by making what you're wearing on top and bottom neutral, kind of bland, maybe just simple, and then making the shoes stand out by being a showstopper, something that's very bright, vibrant, extremely detailed. That's kind of how you make your shoes pop. But I think other than that, the building blocks of an outfit are your clothes, your top and your bottom, right? Tops and bottoms, dresses, whatever, right? I said all that to say that after clothes, I would say shoes are my next kind of favorite thing to wear as a fashionista. And they're also the most discounted item. I feel oftentimes I find shoes for the best deals over bags. Forget bags. And bags are just ridiculously astronomical, so I just don't have as many of them. But let's get into the shoe haul. So the first shoe is a shoe that I've recently been eyeing, and most of the time I feel I stock things for weeks, if not months, maybe even years, right? For those archival pieces from a decade or so ago, or when I couldn't afford these pieces, I just keep them in my mind, follow them on my Pinterest board, check the resale market, etc. for those longer, more archival items. But this is something that I recently, I would say the last 3-4 months, which is not long for me. And it's this gorgeous, unique shoe. I'm trying to get more into fugly shoes, or shoes that are fashionable, but ugly fashionable. And I've kind of always been unique shoes that stand out. I don't like basic shoes. I mean, they're necessary for many occasions, especially work, church, etc. However, I think you could have, you can't go wrong with having those staples in your closet, a classic pump, a nice little sandal. But I love a funky shoe. Love a funky shoe. Not too funky because there's levels, but I love a unique shoe that's a cool twist that tells a story. And so this is definitely one of them. Let me bring it out. These babies. Obsessed. I'm obsessed with these shoes. And I'm gonna show pictures of other models wearing them because I just don't, feel like wearing them, but these are the Dries Van Noten Python Effect leather wedge pumps with a lace-up detail, and I'm obsessed with them. I saw them on Modo Operandi a few months ago. However, out of nowhere, and this happens a lot, honestly, but I just need to negotiate on like what I'm willing to pay for certain things. And I feel like these shoes, they originally retail for $8.95. I was like, I don't feel like paying originally $8.95 for these. I want them at a discount. I want everything at a discount, but I just feel like these, in fact, I rarely pay for anything on regular price, let's just be honest. And out of nowhere, suddenly this is why I can't have nice things, even though that's all my channel is about. Nice things that I buy for myself. Anyway, so suddenly I checked one day and it was like completely sold out. I think I hadn't checked for like a 2 or 3 day period, and then I finally checked like maybe like I said, 2 or 3 days later, and it was sold out in my size, completely sold out. 41s were all gone. And I was devastated, oh my gosh. And that's what kick launched like the hunt. I was looking for these shoes. They were sold out everywhere. They were sold out on the Dries Van Noten website, which is frustrating. Also, they were selling it for $8.95. They sold out of it from Net-a-Porter. Net-a-Porter, I don't think even had a 41. I think it went up to 40. They sold out everywhere I could find this shoe. And then suddenly, I found it. I don't know how I found it, because it wasn't a direct Google search link. It was like I did like a list search, LYST. List is like a fashion site where you can kind of compare prices across different websites for, you know, an item. Like let's say the shoe list will show or curate a list of like the stores that are selling it, the sizes available, and the pricing. So that's why I really like looking at List. But anyway, I checked List, and List, I think, sourced, I saw all these websites, Censor, etc. But then I randomly found Sigil, and I'm probably butchering this name. List had included Sigil, which is a Belgian fashion boutique, luxury fashion boutique. Their inventory and their buyers kind of focus on like European, Belgian, I guess like Austrian, like German, like designers like from that kind of neck of the woods. And they have a great inventory of Dries Van Noten. I also really like them for Glenn Martens and like Y Project. They have a great selection of Y Project, RIP to Y Project, when it was still very much an active brand. And I've shopped there before, similarly on a hunt looking for something that was sold out that I couldn't find here for a great price in the US. And it came up on a search similar to like a List search. And they were these Y Project pants, these like stirrup pants that I'm obsessed with. I have 3 pairs, clearly I'm obsessed. And they had them for the best sale price. And I purchased it directly on the phone with them. I gave them my credit card and they shipped it over to me in no time. So I did a similar thing with this. They had it in the 41 and they had it for 40% off. And so I was able to get this probably for like 500 and something, including duties and taxes, which is a really great price, especially since Modo Operandi did not have it on sale. And even with the 15% off, if they still had the 41 this weekend, it definitely wouldn't have been 40% off what I paid for this from Sigil. So definitely check out Sigil. Again, this is the second time I shop from them, and their customer service is top tier. It's excellent. It is amazing. I think it was Anna, and she was lovely. I called her on WhatsApp. So definitely make sure when you call these international brands, most of them have the WhatsApp numbers, and you can either chat with them through the WhatsApp app or you can call them. And I also do this for Paula Mendoza, so owner of her namesake brand, Paula Mendoza, and she's based out of Colombia, and all my communication with them when I buy things and they ship things to me are through WhatsApp. So definitely don't sleep on international or internationally based brands when you're on the hunt for fashion finds. So yeah, and I absolutely love this shoe. It's sexy. The quality is amazing. These are my first pair of Dries Van Noten shoes. I love the sole. Very smooth leather sole. And I think I'm just overall obsessed with, it has like my favorite details. I'm a sucker for a lace up. And this has a long lace, so you can really kind of like wrap the lace around your ankles. I love that the lace up gap here is pointed. It's like a pointed right here, the opening is pointed. It's not like squared, because I feel like that would have looked different. I like that it's like a slit, almost like a slit that just opens widely as it goes up. I love the shape of the wedge, the curve, the curvature, the dip that it has here. Instead of a straight block, it has a really cool, interesting dip shape here. And it makes for a really cool, interesting like heel, like the heel itself has a really cool shape. Yeah, I'm obsessed. This is a size 41. Here's the Dries Van Noten name and brand. It's in leather, all leather, leather insole, outsole. It's a faux python embossed effect, but it's leather, the outer side here. And I love this neutral color. It goes with everything. And I feel like I will be obsessively wearing these shoes, especially now it's the fall season. They're extremely comfortable. It's a wedge, so I'm not surprised. And yeah, I can't wait to rock these. So these next shoes are just, I think they're my go-to pumps at this point, which is dangerous. I should not wear them as much as I do, but I can't help it. I must confess that I have made these my new default everywhere, every day, dress up pumps. And yeah, I need to not do that. I need to not wear these shoes as much. To be fair, I wear it to style a lot of my styling videos here on this channel, and it's all done indoor. And so the sole is looking quite fine. It's a little dusty because of the floor particles, but it's not like scoffed or like roughed up from being outside on concrete, cement, etc. So one plus side there. They still look great. Still look new, still smell new. Like I'm not sweating in them. Not that my feet sweat, but you know what I mean. These are the Christian Louboutin and the Maison Martin Margiela pumps these are Louboutin, are the exact name of the shoe. The actual shoe is called the Louboutin. And they're just a Maison Margiela, Christian Louboutin, Frankensteinian dream. They are the perfect combination of the two brands combined into one. It's got the distressed, kind of like hodgepodge, stitched together, mismatched aesthetic of Maison Martin Margiela is kind of known for that. Like reconstructed, deconstructed, dissimilar pieces that are being like kind of like mashed together or combined and sewn together, stitched together. Hence the Frankensteinian description I'm using, descriptor. Definitely took that from Cassie Thorpe, so I have to credit her with that term, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. This shoe is a neutral shoe, so it goes with literally almost everything, and I can wear this everywhere. I can wear this to church, I can wear this to work if I wanted to. I would never, like what? Sometimes you have to think about like wasting an outfit. When you think about wasting an outfit, you also think of, I mean, I feel like when someone thinks about wasting an outfit, it's like, oh, I got all dolled up for something that didn't need that kind of effort. But I also think of like wear, right? Like I don't want to wear this shoe to places that it's just not called for, because it's like the more you wear something, the more it wears down. So you have to be selective with where and when and how many times you wear things, because each time adds up to like the breakdown of the shoe, of the item, whatever name, you know, insert item. And that's just what I have to look out for these. So these are in a size 41, EU 41, my usual size, translates to a women's 10 here in the US. And these are limited edition. So these are shoes I never want to part with. And again, they're a combination of different neutral shades. You got like cream, you got like a light brown, you got like a construction paper looking fabric with like a laminated finish. You got some velvet or suede fabric in the front with some really very prominent like whip stitching. Again, that's like very Frankensteinian. We got like leather scraps as well, kind of like in a ruched placement here in the front and on the side panels. I love these shoes. And I think the most favorite part, and I think I'm gonna do this from now on, if I ever wanna buy Christian Louboutin, I already own, I think, about a handful of pairs. I'm no longer gonna buy the old school kind of soles where it's like you have to repaint them after every like 4 or 5 wears, to be honest, if you want them to look like nice and fresh and not like tattered and battered. But the entire shoe collection for this Maison Martin Margiela and Christian Louboutin collaboration, the soles were all done in this new everlasting sole technique. And so it's almost like a latex, patenty, almost like clear rubber sole here at this kind of base here. And then like the arch, this part here is in the classic kind of red pump leather that he uses for he's been using for his shoes for decades. So I like that. I like that they made sure this part that obviously that faces the most wear and tear, as it's the part that directly touches the ground when you walk, is covered or done in this really cool everlasting latexy design. So it prevents you from having to go to the cobbler and having them repaint them. So long term, it saves you a lot of money to invest in these if you're a Christian Louboutin fan. Okay, so these next shoes, these next beauties are from Proenza Schouler. I got these recently, about a month or so ago at Century 21 downtown here in Manhattan, New York City. If you're ever in that area, definitely don't sleep on Century 21. Check it out in person. It's definitely a lot to go through. That store has a lot of inventory. It can be a little overwhelming, but charge through. They have some really great finds. Some of my favorite luxury items, my most prized possessions that I've acquired over the years were found in person at Century 21, particularly that downtown location. So again, like I said, don't sleep on Century 21. Anyway, so these are these gorgeous Proenza Schouler grommet style muled heels, and they're in this gorgeous metallic finish. They are part of the Proenza Schouler kind of grommet shoe design. I would say like maybe like 5 to 8 years ago, it was like all the rage with the brand. They had all these really cool like grommet, large grommet details you see here, designed shoes. They had like slides, mules, heels, pumps like this. I myself, this is my fourth grommet detail and large grommet detail Proenza Schouler shoe. I have them in a low 2-inch block heeled like slide mule. I have them in 2 colors of a sandal, like a pump chunky heeled sandal, and then now I have these pointed toe pumps with a really cool curved heel detail here, and they all have this like leather tie closure to tie together the 2 grommet enlarged grommet details, and it's all leather. Again, silver metallic finish, so it goes with anything and everything. This is an all-around shoe. You can wear this to work, church, brunch, anywhere, honestly. All my other grommet detail Proenza Schouler shoes are comfortable. I wouldn't say these are as comfortable. They're actually not as comfortable. I wore them for a styling video not too long ago. I'll pop the picture up here and link it for you all if you haven't seen it. It's a good one. And I think it looks beautiful with all the looks I styled it with. I wore it, I think, throughout the entirety of that styling video. However, I noticed even when I was wearing it for that styling video, it was not very comfortable. So maybe it's a matter of me breaking it in. But it's all leather, so it should mold and stretch with time. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I just love these. They're in my they're in my usual size. I'm a US Women's 10. This is an EU 41. It fits perfect. And yeah, I love these. I love these so much. I'm surprised I came up upon them, I would say like many years after they stopped making this shoe style and design. Proenza kind of no longer produces this grommet and large grommet heel shoes. So everything you find is like old inventory. So I'm surprised I found it, but I have an obsessive personality sometimes, especially when it comes to fashion and shoes. So why not get it in different colors and slightly different variations of style? So that's my mindset. Okay, so these next shoes are, I think these are my favorite boots of all time. I don't think I've ever loved a boot more than this pair. And these are the Bottega Veneta Canalazzo thigh-high or over-the-knee boots in a croc embossed leather design. And they're sick. They're absolutely sick. Kind of like sexy and edgy, especially these. These are sickening. Oh my gosh, look at they're sky-high thigh-high. They reach like the top of my thighs. Maybe like a few, 2-3 inches from like, you know, the hoo-ha area. And I love it. I love it. They're really stiff. I'm not gonna lie. They're not very stretchy, but I don't know. You feel empowered wearing these. They're so structured and stiff and just well made. You know, they're stiff for good reason. And I just love that they're comfortable. The heel height is good. I think these are a good 4.25. They're slightly more than 4. Look, they might just be a 4. either 4 or 4.25, and they have that gorgeous kind of Lazzo curved heel design, slightly curved. Very, very much signature for the shape and design of this shoe, and Bottega Veneta, of course. And then it has like the grip that Bottega is so well known for. I hope they never stop this. I wonder why more brands aren't catching on. Maybe it's too expensive, but this is essential. Like, especially for shoes like these that are kind of stiff, they're not very flexible, and so I feel like you might be more prone to falling and slipping in something like this if it didn't have the grip, kind of rubber grip detail at the bottom for added support and grip, right? So you're not slipping and sliding in these. And they're just animalistically just sick, right? These shoes are showstoppers. They're just, you can wear them in so many things because of the nice brown neutral color. And they're just so different, and I love that. I just hope I never get to part with these. These were from Poshmark. I bought it from a seller on Poshmark. I love that Poshmark has an authentication feature or in-house team that kind of evaluates luxury items over $500, and that's what they did. And I am now the proud owner of these. So I want more of these. I want more sky thigh-high boots. I already have a pair from Fendi that I loved. I got from Woodbury Commons earlier this year, or late last year, I think, actually. Inspired by Janae Naylor. She has the same pair. And I love them. They make a look easy to style. All you have to do is really worry about the top. Your bottoms are pretty much covered because they cover your entire leg like a pair of pants. And so that's what I love about this look. It's just very elongating, really showcases the legs, especially in the winter time and cold weather when you can't show your skin. Yeah, that's these boots. I love them so much. No words. No words for these beauties. They're just works of art. This belongs in the Met on showcase somewhere. It doesn't belong with me. I don't know why I have these. I shouldn't have these. I don't know if I'm keeping them. I definitely shouldn't. But these shoes are just one of them shoes you will never forget seeing. Like, I have archival shoes that I would never forget seeing. And if I do, it'll come up once in a while randomly in a vivid memory. These I know are going to be one of them, and that's why I have them. Again, I shouldn't. But these gorgeous babies are from McQueen. I don't know if they've been rebranded to McQueen, like dropping off the Alexander. But I think people still use both Alexander McQueen, and then I've been seeing a lot of just McQueen. So not sure about that, but the box that this came in just has McQueen on it. So maybe it's one of those like rebranding things now that they have a new creative director at the helm of the brand. That could be the reasoning behind shortening or referring to the brand as just McQueen. But anyway, back to these babies. My first and only McQueen shoe. I have McQueen clothing, but not a shoe. Not a shoe. These are my first. May not be the last. These are the leather feathered sandals. Sandal pumps, I think is what they're called. Breathtaking. It's giving gladiator vibes. Something about it has a very gladiator aesthetic to it, but it has a really cool nod of a Baroque detailing. Like, this reminds me of kind of like what you'd see in a like Bruges or a loafer. Kind of like the perforated circle, bubble, round, laser cut detailing. These shoes are all leather. Even the feathered detailing is all leather, and that's why I really went for these shoes, because they're not feather. They're made to look like feathers, and they are, but they're made out of leather. And so that to me is a lot more durable than a true feather. The true feather would just, it would wither and die. I mean, it would just not hold up. You can smell the leather in these shoes, just fresh leather. It's like, oh my God, I can't get enough of these shoes. These are fashion week shoes. These are fashion week shoes. These are couture shoes. These are shoes you wear to a Met Gala. These are shoes you wear to an extremely fashionable event. The Thong, pointed part here, leather, everything leather. Sole, insole, outsole, all leather. Feather, detail, leather. This thong right here, that was my hesitancy with these shoes, because the thong shoe is notoriously excruciatingly painful and hard to walk in, and all that pressure and weight on your foot when you're like on your heel gets crammed into this pressure point here, and so it's extremely uncomfortable and honestly painful. But again, like I said, these shoes are not meant to be worn much, if at all. They should be displayed. But if I were to wear it, it would be, again, a very strictly door-to-door, very little standing, very little on my feet kind of activity. These are just meant for showcasing. That's really it. They're not meant for walking. These are not shoes made for walking. This is my size, EU41. Get closer on the details for you girlies. Got that McQueen embossed logo on the outsole. All right, girlies, so thank you so much for watching. That's all the new in shoes I have in this little mini shoe haul. Let me know which ones are your favorite. I love them all. I love shoes. I'm a shoe girly, like I said, so it's just very hard for me to pick favorites, but I will see you girlies in the next video. Please stay safe, stay blessed, stay respectful, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.